Morning everyone, welcome back to AY Drafting, where we focus on making your Civil 3D workflow as efficient as possible. Let's get it started. So today we're tackling a common challenge. It's automating the export of point groups using Dynamo. Point groups are related to survey points. When we get a survey, we design our file, and based on that survey, then the contractor requires us to send him the survey back with the design points or point groups. So here's the thing, we can automate the export of point groups using Dynamo, which can significantly cut down your project. Many Civil 3D projects exporting point groups manually is a frequent and time-consuming task. Typically this requires selecting each and every one of the groups individually. A process that's not only slow, but also is prone to error, especially as the number of point groups increases. So we have three options. Strategy number one is manual export. That's the one I was talking about. That's the one you would just have to go into Civil 3D. Here's my project. It's a project I'm working on, but it's basically it's just a dummy project for showing you how it works, how the script works. Let's see. We've got 10 groups. Some of them are empty, which is normal in the projects, and some of them have the number of points. Those points are coming from the all point group. What you can do is select and export points, and you can choose PNZ or any other comma or space delimited file to export. You can choose a group if you want, or you can export the whole thing at once by not limiting to any group. It will just export the all points. But there is no option to export several groups at once. That's a problem. So let's see. If we export all the points, yes, no. Here's what we get. We're going to get all of these 1600 points, but that's not what I want. What if I have 10 or 5 groups that I have to export, even 2 groups? What I would have to do is right-click, export point, go to the group, go to the destination, and select point group 2. Then I would have a file of points, but I would have to do that again. Point group 1, and I would have another file of points. Oh, what have I done? Okay. Here's point group 1. But the problem is, I want these groups in one file. There's no option for it. Let's try it out again. Export points. You can't select a few groups and export it into one file. There's no way. The only way you can do that, open this, copy, go to the second file, and paste it here. But that's manual. I don't want to do this. Prone to error. If you have 10, 15 of these from different files, you're prone to error. So that's the manual way. We've got a second choice. It's called SemiAutomated Script. SemiAutomated Script is a script that reduces some of the manual effort, but still requires significant user interactions. Let's see what that looks like. That looks like this. Omar Sabri made this script, and I actually got inspired for this video by this guy. It's a great script. I was impressed, but I got inspired to make it better. So if I run the video, here's what he's got. He's got a few nodes. These nodes basically will go into the file, get the group, and you would have to specify, here's what he's going to show, the object geometry and the data, the group. So he's got the points. Here's where the manual effort starts. Okay, no, this is fine. This is actually pretty smart. He's list transposing those 3 points, a point with that. Then this is the one. You've got this code block where you have to specify the name of the export. I do not want to do this. I want everything to be in one script. I guess that was his idea, that you can export every one of these scripts manually, one by one, or using this Dynamo script, one by one. But Civil 3D already does that, and it's even easier from the Civil 3D. It's exactly the same amount of clicks. 2 clicks every time. In Civil 3D, it's just going to be right click, choose your option, and press OK. I guess that's 3 clicks. This is crazy. So I don't want to do this. I want to automate this. Here's when the fully automated Dynamo solution comes in. A robust script that automates the entire process, needing minimal input and ensuring all point groups are exported accurately and swiftly. So the decision was made that after messing around with a few methods, and honestly, full automation is the way to go. Why would I waste time when we can have Dynamo do all the heavy lifting for us? Plus, it minimizes errors, which is always a win in my book. Here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to fire up the Dynamo, and I'm going to show you how the script works first. Here's the script. It might look a little bit complicated, but it works. What it does is, goes into the document, finds the points, processes them, and gets you PNEZ format. Point number, northing, easting, elevation, description, and even the point later. I added that just because I wanted to. It's not required, but if you want to, you can add that. It's a bit more information for the points. You've got the transpose list and creating export CSV. You run the script. You've got this new document file, which is created just now, 820. It's already 821. Got all of the points from the point group. Those points are not coming from the all points, because we've got 1600 points. You see, 76, 1676. All I want is these, I believe 400 points, from 200 to 600, and these from 1 to 200, which is overall 600 points. I don't want 1600 points, because I'm not using all of them in this file, for example, and that's it. That's very much the premise. If the requirement is to offload or export the whole all point group, then that's even easier. There is a few nodes less to create that file than selecting the point groups. So that was the whole challenge at the beginning. Let's build the script up. I'll save this. Open. Okay, we need to first start with the document. Then we will find the Kogo point groups. No. Kogo point groups from the document. We gotta find all of the groups, the Kogo point groups from this document. We've got about 10 of them, if you remember. Then we've got to get all of the points from the Kogo point groups. So we're going to type in Kogo point group dot Kogo. I believe this package is still 3D Kogo point group. Kogo points. Get all the Kogo points from a group. So we've got all of those. Then we are going to clean this list up, because right now we've got 2200 points, and that's because we have 1600 overall points from the all points group, and then we've got another 600 from these two. We've got to work with this list to chop it up a little bit and make it and automate it to be able to retrieve the data that we want. Basically, this will involve the list modification. Let's see. So we've got to go to the list, modify, and there is this cleans data node. Let's clean this data, and the boolean needs to be, you will see, the boolean needs to be false, because at default it's true. I've done this because we've got a bunch of empty points, just so those. Let me find them. Yeah, here they are. So I want to remove those before I start modifying my data. So you can see all of those empty point groups have been removed. Yep, right here, 1675, 1675. It's removed. Now, next, we want to remove that all points group from this list, because I don't want to see 2276 points. I only want to see 600 points. This is a powerful list remove item index. So the only caveat is that you do have to specify the index, and that index is basically the order where the all point group is. I would suggest you go in to the properties and actually throw this all points to the top of the list, unless it is already on the top. Then you press OK, because otherwise you would have to specify the proper indice for this moving item at index. So remove that item by number, which is 0. 0 is 1. And we've got our 600 points. These 600 points are coming from these two groups. Yes, we saw previously. Here's what I'm going to do next. Next, we're going to check the file that we don't have unnecessary data. Yep, we don't have anything. And which means we can start by getting the numbers and points. So this would be right here, extensions. Was it extension? Yeah. External document or to camera objects. Not external. Let's see. I just want to check what. Yeah. Oh, it's part of Autodesk. So part of the Autodesk there is this Koga point extensions tool or nodes that you can use. They're very powerful. I'll start with a get the point number, which is get number, which is the P and EZD, which means point, northing, easting, Z is elevation, and D is the description. We've got all of the P and ZD listed here. Just check. So that's a D, that's a Z. Those are 15 because I made them 15. I just made every one of the points because it's a dummy project. Then easting is here, and point number is here. So, yeah. So next, what we're going to do next is we're going to transpose or create the list first. List, it's create. Just type list, it will create. You gotta put all of these groups or lists together. This list create lets you do that. You create 5 of them, double, 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 and a string. Once you look at this, you're going to see 3 outputs, which is 600 lists, 600 list items times 5, which is 3000. Then you're going to transpose this list. Transposing the list will let you move the list from the rows, or actually, it's moving these items from columns to be the rows. And here's what's happening. But this is not working properly. What's wrong here? The problem is that we've got to use levels, and we've got to use the level 1 for them, for all of them, because we want a list of lists. You can see. I'm not sure why, but my camera decided to shut off. Here you go. We've got a list of lists. Each list is a list of points, which means this is a column, or no, that's not what that means. It means this is a column, 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 and column. And then the next list is the next row. And they've got second row in the first column, then the third row, then the fourth row, and you're going to get the list of the points using this method. And that's it. That's basically the premise. All you have to do now is export CSV. I believe you can find it here. Export CSV. File path. I'm going to use file path. I'm just going to use this one. Much easier. Browse. Let's select our new text document. You do have to create a CSV file first. And the way I create my CSV files, you can use text file and then just rename the last part. Let's call it survey points dot CSV. Yep. And run. Boom. We've got ourselves a file with a bunch of CSV points. Point, northing, easting, elevation, description. That's it. Easy. Pretty easy. So that's a script. To summarize, what we did, we started by opening Dynamo, and then we built a script, a new script from scratch. We pulled all of those points together. We have extracted all the input data that we need in the format that we need. The sequence matters. And then export it to CSV. Press the magic button, run. Once everything is set, as long as your all points is on the top and you specify your indices as 0, you can run the script, no problem. You don't have to specify each and every one of the point groups. You don't have to do it manually by hitting export points and choosing the group. It is useful to use this command to export all of the points from the file. But as I said before, if you want to only export 2 groups, but into one file, that's the only reason you would use the script. That's it. Summarize, and to give you next steps. There you have it. Hours of work. You can shave it off in minutes or seconds with the script. Next time I'm going to show you how to tweak this data to set up to pull even more data automatically. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. So, do you have a question? Or maybe a few tricks up your sleeve you want to share? Hit up the comments or shoot me an email. I love hearing from you guys. It's all about making our lives easier, right? Thanks for tuning into the AY drafting. If you found this useful, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more Dynamo tips and tricks. Catch you in the next video. Keep on drafting like a boss.